Jeffrey Davison. Thank you very much for joining.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's good to see you. It's always good to see you.
Yeah.
You're my bestest friend in the whole world. If anybody didn't know that, this is my bestie. He's been the homie for 23 years.
Probably.
Yeah, 23 years.
Long time.
I met him when I moved to the area with my wife, and we slept in his and his wife's basement.
With your two dogs.
With my two dogs. Yeah. The
That landlord wasn't too happy about that after a few months, but
no,
we worked through it.
We absconded. We got out of there and got our own place and started our own family. But ever since then, I've just been, you've been my ride or die. You've been,
whatever you need.
Important person in my life.
Carrying roasters to moving whatever you need me to do.
And I love you. So thanks for doing this, bro.
Anytime.
This is Jeff Davison. He is the owner operator of Oscar Smith Carpet Cleaning Company. And where is it located at? Swarsville. How long has that business been?
Started in 1847 with a horse and carriage.
Say that again?
With a horse and carriage in 1847.
1847. So this company's been cleaning carpets since 1847. That's a hell of a history.
Yep.
And how long have you been with the company?
I'm going to say 25 years.
25 years. And in that time, I'd imagine you've seen a lot.
Everything. Everything from, I don't even know where you want me to start.
We're not going to start anywhere yet. Just getting some background on you.
Yeah. So, no way. I mean, it started 1847. Our family bought it in the early 60s. We're just making it work. It's my father-in-law and my brother-in-law and myself, and we have a small crew, and we do fire and water restoration, and pretty much everything. You name it, we do it. Pressure wash to... We're not going to go there. The water restoration is really my gig.
We're going to go there.
All right. So, yeah, we do, suicide cleanups, and we do, because it gets pretty interesting.
And a lot of interesting finds, too.
Yeah, we're in... I wish I had it with me. I found a Hulk Hogan painting. I'd carry it around with me. It's lovely. It's from the 80s. It's an original.
Hulk Hogan painting. So here's a generic question, and it should just get us to prompt a little bit. Can you recall a specific moment or event that set you on the path that you're on today?
Why did I start doing it? Well, I needed money.
Needed money.
And I was selling cars that it wasn't really working out too good for me. So then they needed help one night, and then that was pretty much the end of the Oscar Smith story. I went in to help part-time, and it's 25 years later.
25 years later.
But I found it, and I liked it, and it's adventurous, and I'm not stuck in a building, and I'm out every day, and I'm meeting different people, and I'm going to different places.
So you started out as a general laborer, so I guess what would be going into how many jobs a day?
5, 6, 7, 8 jobs a day, pulling hoses and cleaning carpet, cleaning furniture.
Meeting people, I'd assume.
Meeting people.
Customer service.
Yeah, interesting job.
So are there any people that you've met cleaning carpets that have become permanent fixtures in your life?
No, not really, but I did meet Joe Snedeker once.
Joe Snedeker.
Interesting fella.
So who's Joe Snedeker for people who don't know?
He's a weatherman for an WNEP 16.
And is he just as interesting in person as he is?
Oh, yeah. Interesting fella. We know the Cooper seafood people. They're good people. Hugs and handshakes when I see them. My dentist. I don't know how many dentists you know. Walk in when you go in and they give you a hug. That was a good relationship. I did a job for him.
Is that J-Nat?
Yep. Became my dentist, and then now I'm his customer, and he's my customer.
And Jason's a damn cool fish fan, too.
Good guy.
He's a Dead fan. He does a Grateful Dead Thursday, is it?
Friday.
Dead Friday. So every Friday you go there to get your teeth cleaned, and he's got the Grateful Dead.
And I think he started doing Fish Thursdays.
Fish Thursdays, that's right. Yeah. So what was one of the most challenging situations that you faced?
I mean, when you walk into a house and there's water flying out of the ceiling and it's going down 3 or 4 floors, and the people are panicking and their stuff is all destroyed, and you're standing in feet and inches of water in the basement, it's pretty overwhelming. It's an overwhelming situation, even for me, for doing it for 25 years. It's still overwhelming. Once you figure out the source, and you have to get that things figured out and make these people happy. They're psychologically distraught and mentally and emotionally distraught.
So do you guys do drop everything and rush out to a job?
Whenever we need to.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you have the people's backs.
Yep,
That's awesome.
We're covered. We got you covered.
That's awesome. So what do you think is one of the most rewarding things that you...
When you're done and people are happy that their house is not wet anymore, you feel like you've accomplished something. It's a pretty good feeling knowing that you saved those people, put them in the right place, at least in the right direction. I'm not saying we're miracle workers, but
Well, my wife's grandmother, she had a burst in her bathroom, and she had an old school carpeted bathroom. I don't think anybody does that anymore. God, I hope not. So she had burst pipe in her bathroom, and her carpeted floors soaked up all the water, all the way into the hallway and down the hallway and
Living room.
into the other room. And Jeff came out and took care of it right away. They were out there. I don't think I even hung up the phone with them before they were already en route.
Yeah, we were already in the truck on the way, especially because it's your wife's, my best friend also, Sarah, since we're 13 or 14 years old.
Yeah.
Her grandma, so I'll drop everything for grandma. You know what I mean?
And he killed it. So thank you very much.
Anytime.
Yeah, man. So what are some of the most memorable jobs?
Man, we just did one up in New Angola. It was pretty interesting. It was a lake house. Pipes busted all up in the wall. We were there for 2-3 weeks. You're working at a lake. You're looking out the window and you see Lake New Angola.
That's beautiful.
We were at a place up in it's by Honesdale. It's like a retreat. And
Are you talking about the Himalayan Institute?
correct.
Sick.
I never felt so calm in my whole entire life after leaving a place.
Shout out Himalayan Institute.
Magnificent place, magnificent people. We're up there. It's an ongoing thing that they got. We're just trying to straighten it out for them.
They do silent retreats up there. They do meditation classes. I think there's even people that live on site. Pretty cool place to have in the region.
But my job is so high. I'm so high strung and going so fast, so hard all the time. I got up there and I'm like, yeah, nothing's gonna bother me today. Not a single thing. And I didn't do anything. There was no like massages or meditations. I was just being in the general area.
Being in the vibe.
Calmed me down. They make chocolate there. I figured that out.
And coffee. They're also coffee roasters.
They make coffee. They make their own coffee and their own chocolate.
I want to get up with those guys and figure out a mocha.
They have, yeah,
because they have really good chocolate. And they're in Honesdale.
extremely
this is a
pleasant people.
Unsolicited plug for that spot.
And they have a
Look into it.
little therapy dog that runs around. I'm not sure of his name right now, but
We've both raised our families together. So I've got a daughter who is 21 and a son who is 18. And then Jeff, you have
Ella's 13 and Maya's 19.
So our kids grew up pretty tight.
And they're still pretty tight.
They are still pretty tight. And if anyone's going through anything, they reach out to each other. And it's funny because if there's ever anything that happens, they're usually the ones that know now, and we don't know.
Right.
So
They're not telling us anything.
they're not telling us shit anymore. So I guess that happens. But yeah, it's been really cool having you as a permanent fixture.
We're there.
So why don't you tell me about growing up? Where'd you grow up?
Grew up right here. Grew up the street, Apollo Circle.
So we're in Nanticoke, Pennsylvania, and Apollo Circle. What is Apollo Circle?
It's a low-income housing projects, I guess you could call it.
The projects, the Nanticoke projects.
It's still there. It still stands. I drive by every once in a while for some reminiscence. But
I was in the post office mailing some coffee, and the woman in front of me was talking to the postmaster about how she has her packages delivered to a different address because she lives in Apollo Circle. And I'm like, all right, so not much changes.
no, not much changes.
Don't have your packages delivered.
Spent a lot of time at Quality Hill growing up, playing basketball, just the general things. Skateboarded right outside of this door.
That's it.
So I was like 16, 17 years old. So spent a lot of time in this parking lot, which is odd, but that's where we had. We didn't have anything much else going on, so we hung out in the parking lot, skateboarded, and did whatever we were doing.
So how many people did you used to kick it with?
A lot. They're all moved on and became professionals, and I'm just kind of floating around. I got you, and I got my business and my family, and that's all I'm really worried about.
Oh, that's it. So there was like, I think I've seen pictures, maybe 15, 20 kids in this parking lot or in the area skating and just ripping shit up.
Yep.
It's like, now you look outside, you don't see anybody.
Nope, not a soul.
But yeah, you guys were a crew to reckon with. There were so many skaters and just,
Well, they're still alive here. I mean, I obviously got out of it a little bit a while ago, but there's still a core group of skater guys in this town, old school guys that are in their 40s and 50s now, and they're still skateboarders, still kicking, they're still going to shows, they're still doing what they got to do.
Yeah.
And they're an interesting group of fellas. So
let's see. Is there a particular life lesson you learned that you'd like to pass on to others?
I mean, you got to think about that for a second. Stand by your word. You only have your word in yourself. If you don't stand by your word, then what do you have? You don't have anything else.
True.
You tell somebody you're going to do something, you do it.
There's not too many solid ass dudes.
That's it.
For sure. So
I don't know what
be
else
a
to say.
solid dude. Right on. Can you reflect on any mistakes, challenges, or the biggest failure that you've gone through that maybe taught you something valuable about yourself?
I mean, I fail every day,
Totally.
so I learn a life lesson every day. You know what I mean? I make a mistake every day. I make a mistake. I fix it. I try to correct it. Do the best I can.
I think it's only a failure if you give up.
Right. So you get up, you go.
Keep going.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
just get it, just get it in. In the situations I'm in, people are difficult. They're, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's a little bit different when you walk into somebody's house and they have 7 feet of water on their floor and they're freaking out.
What are some of the most embarrassing things you've found in a cleanup?
I mean,
I know this has got to be good.
there's some. We've found multiple like paraphernalia of drugs, and we've found like sex toys if you want to go there. And I mean, people are kind of weird.
People are kind of weird.
People are kind of weird.
And you're there to clean up the mess.
And we did a job somewhere along the lines, and the lady was a hoarder. And I mean, she was a kind of a hoarder. She was an extreme hoarder, and she had probably 40 yards of garbage in her house.
40 yards.
Of garbage, of a dumpster. So you know dumpster sizes.
So you had to clean out the...
So dumpster sizes are 10, 20, 40, and so on. So we're going through the job. Everything's wonderful. Picking up 300, 400, 500 McDonald's cups and just garbage bags filled with stuff, cakes, broken down cakes. So we think everything's going smooth. We're almost done. And I go into the bathroom, and the lady has 6,000 soaking wet diapers. No joke. No way. No, there's no way to get them out but by hand.
Good God.
So, the only person that would go with me is my boss. He's been there his whole entire life. He's not out in the field anymore. He's supposed to be like the grand poobah, sitting in the office, taking care of paperwork and doing all that stuff. The only one that would go with me was him. We were there for 2 days, dragging out these diapers.
Oh, man.
And you know the size of a shower, with length and width of a shower, 6 foot tall. I'm 6 foot tall, filled to the top, overflowing into the bathroom, out into the hallway, and into the kitchen of all this just diaper mess. So then she asks me for, hey, did you see these books? And I said, ma'am, I didn't see anything. I saw, you had a cake. You had a whole entire cake underneath your dresser or your bed. There was a whole cake. A cake. Like a sheet cake.
Sheet cake.
Cut in half. Underneath like she was eating it in, I don't know if she even got in that bed, because you couldn't.
Man.
It was bad. The smell outside, and there was like a fair going on down the street. And I go outside. It's like you can only go in for 25 minutes, half hour. I'm outside hacking. Because like the smells and the odors. And there's people walking by with their carriages and their children going to this fair. And I'm like, I'm in a suit, like the
hazmat suit?
Yeah, hazmat suit with the
breather
respirator mask, and eye goggles and gloves, and things are taped off, and just a job. The smell on the way home was terrible.
Oh, man.
It like permeates into your spot, whatever. It's interesting.
Crazy.
But interesting.
Yeah. I'd imagine that there's hazard pay involved in, jobs like that.
We do okay.
Wow.
But we'll go right down to cleaning your chair so delicately to, obviously, the story I just told you.
So we had a bunch of these mosquito traps that we bought for our backyard. So we like to hang out in the backyard, and we live right on top of the floodplain, so we get a lot of mosquitoes during the mosquito season. So my dog found the traps and chewed them up on our carpet, and the smell from these mosquito traps, it was like rotting flesh to attract the mosquitoes.
Makes sense.
And that went into the carpet really bad, and it was a really nice carpet we liked a lot, and we couldn't get it clean no matter how much we scrubbed that freaking thing and like sprayed it with whatever and tried to clean it up. We just couldn't get it clean, and gave it to Oscar Smith, and they returned it wrapped up on our porch, and it doesn't smell like mosquito traps anymore. So what they did worked. So big shout out for that, because you guys do
we do commercial restaurants,
and then you get to clean places like Bon V's house.
Bonvi's house. We used to do the I'm going to throw another one, the Kirby house up at Mountaintop.
That's beautiful.
Big crazy building. We used to go up there all the time, and we do like all their floors and stuff's roped off. The rooms, private rooms you can't go into, and Just an interesting thing up there.
I did landscaping up there, not
Interesting.
for Kirby House, but Kirby House has so much property,
Yeah.
and the house that we were doing is right up on the Kirby House.
All right, right next
And
door.
beautiful.
Yeah.
That's like I think you're born to live
Yeah,
there
yeah.
because that's such a nice neighborhood.
It's interesting.
And yeah,
We did a
Kirby's
neighbor next.
yeah, the Kirby's have a lot of nice houses.
And the guy that owns Strange and Unusual lives up in that general area now. We did his house the other day.
Oh, sick.
That was an interesting house too, because he's kind of like gothed it out with like the right paintings. Like, you understand
yeah.
what I'm saying. Like it's got that feel. He's got that giant skeleton in the front yard, 75-foot skeleton or 50. I'm probably exaggerating a little bit. At least one of those 50-foot skeletons
Yeah.
you see floating around. That guy's pretty interesting too. So.
Yeah, he just I think they just had something to do with purchasing the Ritz in Scranton.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, it's amazing it's cool that people that are able to do that will find these places that need to be preserved and bring them back to life. So shout out to that guy.
Well, you're doing the same with Nanny Coke. Try to preserve the town. You have your business here. And the Annie Pierogies just opened up the street. Tarnowski's is here. There's another bakery up the street. Sanitary Bakery's been here since
Like before the
50s,
Great
40s,
Depression.
50s. So it's good to see that the businesses in Nanny Coke
They were
are starting to build a little bit. It's
Yeah.
good to see
Yeah.
all these local businesses coming about and trying to keep the neighborhood alive.
Well, you got to be the change you want to see. We
Right.
have a town that needs the that deserves, not just needs, but a
Right.
town that deserves nice things. So, we're happy to be here. That's for sure.
Okay. I'm
good
happy
town.
you're, and I'm happy you're here.
Thanks, brother.
Drive by every day.
Well, tell us another story, Jeff.
All right, we've got another hoarder story. If you want me to throw you out that one.
Yeah, let's do hoarders. We love watching.
So this
hoarders
guy
on
was
A&E.
named Mertz. He's probably no longer with us, but he was a hoarder. And Cliff sent me in there, my boss. Lovely man. Always sends me on these crazy jobs. And we're there, and he wanted to save every single thing. I'm there for 7 days. He saved rubber bands, paper clips, and we're finishing up the job, and we're carrying boxes up steps, and I misplaced the remote. Mind you, I'm there for 5 days already. I had enough. I'm there by myself. I'm like digging things out, tearing carpet out, boxing all this guy's stuff up, and I must have put his remote in the box.
Oh, damn.
And I quit. I was done. I'm done. I'm not dealing with this guy anymore. And so they sent another group up to help me. I said, I'm done. I can't deal with this guy by myself anymore. Somebody needs to come up and help me. So I'm walking to the van, and we can't find his remote, and he's screaming. He's screaming, where's my remote? Where's my remote? Well, the other guy finds the remote, and he's yelling, you can't get my goat. You found my remote, as we're walking to the van and leaving. He was just a character. I wish I had a picture of that guy's house, because that was one of the worst ones.
You can't get my goat. You got my remote.
Yep. That's what he said to me.
That sounds like something that could stick around for
Yeah,
many years.
He's been there. So he was, and then we did his brother, but it wasn't nearly as bad. We ended up doing his brother's house out in Harvey's Lake, and they walked in and put him right to the stop. We're not saving rubber bands. We're not saving paper clips. This is ridiculous. It's garbage. We'll get it fixed up for you.
It seems to me like, just from the little bit of research I've done, that hoarding is like a pretty widespread thing.
Oh yeah,
Like it affects a lot of people.
and not in a good way. Like, I mean, I have a little bit of it myself. I like to save random paintings and things.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that's what it is. Like, it's like where does treasure pass into junk, and
Right.
where's that line for somebody? And I'm sure it comes down to some really deep-rooted, like psychological
issues. Yeah.
roadblocks or whatever you want to call it that prevent people from being able to throw things away.
Right. Sentimental value, attachment.
Yeah. So I used to have hair, and I don't have hair anymore.
He joined the club.
I joined the club, and I removed my hat so I could sit here with my bald brother, and we could be two bald-headed beauties on the TV screen or computer screen. So, how about any crazy stories growing up in Nanticoke, Pennsylvania, involving one notorious character, Timothy Dietz, who I hope he's doing all right these days.
I think he's not. I don't think he's a part of society at this moment. It's the best I could say. Anyway, so as a young lad, we were a little bit rambunctious. We'll say it that way. We used to get in altercations after sports events.
Which is why Nanticoke has a bad name. It's this guy's fault.
It's all my fault. But I mean, that's passed on generations before me also. So I was just keeping the spirit alive. I don't think they do that anymore here now. But so we got in an altercation with some older gentlemen, and assaulted. Now I'm what's the word I'm looking for? I'm incriminating myself.
Yeah, definitely incriminating yourself.
So
And
incriminating
asking
myself.
for a little retribution, I think.
Yeah. So we've assaulted these young gentlemen after a basketball game. So they brought their extra friends down with them. We'll say.
So did you guys just jump these guys? You just
Yeah, we're
decided,
just
gonna jump
we're just
these
like
two?
16, 17-year-old punks trying to build a reputation for ourselves.
All right, so you're those guys.
Yeah, we're those
You're
guys.
those guys that just pick on innocent.
I mean, not innocent. They were in our parking lot, and they didn't belong in Nannyco.
Guilty. Okay.
So we beat them up. And anyway, so then they decided to bring their extra crew down. And Timmy is the only black kid in Nannycoke at the time. He's on the basketball team, playing basketball, like right across Nannycoke High School's
Okay, so
over
he's
here.
playing basketball.
Playing
He's
basketball.
actually playing basketball.
So we beat these gentlemen up.
So while he's playing basketball, you're in the parking lot beating these people.
Yeah. So then we decided to go. There used to be a pizza shop across the street.
So who are these people that you're beating up? They must have some sort of history with you, because you're not just gonna.
No. Just two random, multiple children, people out in the parking lot that did just look like they didn't belong in town. Because that's my mentality at the time.
Okay. So they're foreigners.
So we beat them up, and then they decide to call their friends, and then they bring their multiple friends down. Two across the street when there used to be a Renna's Pizza Place across the street. It was a pizza place. That's where everybody went after basketball.
Shout out Lloyd Wagner.
I see him. I actually clean his carpet too. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a really good guy. Miss that guy. Hope you're doing well. If you ever see
he's
this.
a good guy. We're over there. We're hanging out. We're eating pizza, whatever.
And so this pizza place he's referring to is literally right across the street.
It was.
Right
It's
now.
now. It's an abandoned building at this time.
It seemed to be an auto zone, from what I gather.
So, which is sad because we don't really need an auto zone, but we got one now. We're getting one now. So then multiple people come down to fight us. Mind you, my friend was on the basketball team, not in the parking lot. The black guy did it. It was the black guy. It's his fault.
Okay.
He's not even there. I mean, he's there, but now he's there, and now they're pointing at him. So, of course, the altercation continues. There's some guns involved. They leave. Everything's done. Never heard from him again.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, so two white guys in the parking lot of a high school accost.
It might have been three guys.
Okay, and then how many white guys did you accost?
Probably 2 to 3.
2 to 3 white guys were accosted in a parking lot by 2 to 3 white guys. And then when it all comes down and shakes out, the black guy that was in the other building playing basketball, he was the one who did it.
Yep, he's the one who did it.
It's so weird.
That's our mentality, I guess. Especially then, because it was like he was the only black guy in the whole entire town.
And now Timmy is he's a really funny guy. Like, he's hilarious. He could have been, I hate to say that could have been, but he could have been a comedian.
He could have did whatever he wanted.
He could have did whatever he wanted to.
He could have been anything. He could have done absolutely anything he wanted to do. But he chose hats, not really too positive.
Yeah, but then let's think about it. And, so I have I have thought about this because I do love the guy and care about him and don't want bad things to befall on him. But he was the only white guy in a largely racist town during a pretty racist time.
He was a black guy.
He was a black guy.
Yeah.
He had his grandma and his aunt.
Yes. Grandma and his mom.
Grandma and his mom. But
Adopted. He was adopted.
Okay, but they were lesbians.
Yeah.
And at the time, of course, in the same town.
But they were grandma and mom. They
grandma
weren't
and mom.
lesbians.
So he had to keep up that charade that
Right.
they weren't together or whatever, while being the only black kid. So the amount of shit that he had to go through just to navigate an early childhood and an early life, and all the shit that he got into, it's no wonder he's having such a hard time, because he wasn't able to process a lot of the things healthily. And that's, I think, I'm not trying to dissect him psychologically or anything, because I just fucking feel for the kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, he's a good guy. One of my favorite people.
Yeah, hilarious. And I love hearing stories about him because he's so fucking funny.
But he just went the wrong way, man.
Yeah.
He got
Drugs
into
are bad, kids.
Yeah, drugs are bad.
Drugs are bad.
Don't do drugs.
And shout out Timmy.
Miss you.
Do you have anything you want to say in closing?
I hope to do this again. It was fun.
Yeah, let's go golfing, dude.
Yeah, let's go golf.
So
We could do disc golf too.
younger me, if younger me ran into older me, and older me told younger me, yeah, you're a golfer now.
Yep, me too.
I'd probably be pretty disappointed.
Yep. probably would have punched myself in the face. But that's besides
You
the
probably
point.
would have punched yourself
Yeah,
in the face.
most
I
definitely.
probably wouldn't have punched myself in the face. I probably would have just talked shit about
Yeah, no,
myself behind my back.
I'm calm, I'm zen, Brian. I mean, just over the years, I've learned to like center myself and just be a calmer human being in the world.
You've got a
Do
great
what I gotta
heart,
do.
and you're an awesome human, and I have fun with you every time we hang out. And I appreciate you doing this with me today.
Super nervous. I like the last minute. Hey Jeff, do you want to come do a podcast tomorrow? Oh yeah, sure, Brian. Whatever. I'm really nervous, but yeah, let's do it. So we did it.
Nothing to be nervous about.
We did it, and we had a good time. So
Yeah.
I'll do it again.
Yeah, me too. I'm appreciating this opportunity, and yeah, I roast coffee and sell coffee. That's what I do, and I want to talk to people that I meet and know, because everybody has a really interesting life. Everybody's interesting. Everybody's unique, and so the ones that stand out to me are the ones that I want to talk to more. And Jeff, you just so happen to be the fucking penultimate human in my life, dude. You've been
Love you,
an
brother.
anchor and a solid human, and I know you through and through. So,
One quick
appreciate it.
story though about the time that we drove out to the Luzerne County Fairgrounds, and you decided to say, "Hey Jeff, I need you to carry this 500-pound roaster and put it in this van, and then take it with me to this fair because I want to try to get my business going." So Jeff, you're the only person I know that could actually physically carry this thing. Do you know how many times I carried that roaster for you
Fuck, dude.
over the last 25 years?
Too many.
And I'll do it again. Call me tomorrow. You need
No,
to move
I
it.
put it away.
Yeah, I know.
I put it away.
I want him to put it under like a glass case so everybody could see where it all started. But
Yeah, I had this. The roaster I started out on it was a little 2-kilo shop roaster, and trying to get my name out there because specialty coffee really was not a thing in this area. There was a couple of places in Scranton that were doing it pretty good, but there was nothing down here at the time, especially. So I'd try to take that coffee roaster with me and do events and roast coffee and introduce people to coffee. And I think the coffee that I was roasting at the time was pretty horrible. But
it's probably better than most coffees that you could still get now.
it was where I started from, and yeah, and I couldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. Honestly, I wouldn't be here without you, because you are that guy.
Love you, brother.
Love you, brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for doing this.
Anytime.
Yeah. All right. And thanks for listening. Maybe you're listening. Maybe nobody's listening.
Maybe nobody wants to hear some guy talk about orders, coffee, but
But thank you all the same.
see you soon.
See you soon. Peace.